Dire Team's turn to ban. Radiant Team ban. Dire Team ban. Radiant Team's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire Team's turn to pick. Radiant Team's turn to pick.
Grimstroke.
Okay, bumper in 7 seconds.
10 seconds remaining.
2, 1.
5 seconds remaining.
Coming to cameras. 10 seconds. 3, 2. Hello everyone and welcome back. Game number 2 between the Cut and 5-Man Midas about to begin. Thank you guys for joining us. You can strike an applause on the call here for the NA Winter Tour, the ESL 1 NA Winter Tour powered by Intel. Lower Division Game 2, but draft was pretty one-sided here for the Cut. 5-Man Midas, they tried to focus on strong lanes, but as you say, Drow, one of these win lane, lose games kind of hero. How do you think they should be adjusting from here? Do you think they need to kind of move the magnifying glass from laning stage a bit to mid-game, or what's the strat here?
Dire Team's turn.
I would say maybe don't let the Mars pass that easily, but I'm already looking and that's not that great. I don't know, I think their opening was very weak. I think you opened with an Undying, that was a super weak opener, and it kind of pigeonholes your draft, and it also forces you, it also gives you a hero that's not that strong, right? So like if you want to force your draft to go in a certain direction, like Undying used to, or still does, you need a hero that's like meta, and Undying is not that hero. So they kind of screwed themselves over in that sense. If they respond better to the Mars or the opener in general, and they respond sooner to it, I think they're going to have a much better game. Otherwise, well, we might get our first booking for a team going back home, because this is not looking good for 5-Man Midas right now.
Yeah, of course, we have ourselves the travel agency theme. You know, we're just getting it set up, getting everything ready to go. And so are the teams. In fact, they are ready to go with the draft already underway. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cut right into that. The Cut, once again, picking up this Mars you spoke so highly about and just did. But 5-Man Midas responding a bit better, as they already picked the Dusa. So a laning solution as well as a mid-game solution. Because unlike the Drow Ranger, Dusa is not going to immediately die when Mars gets on top of her.
True, she's still not the best in the mid game, right? Like the issue and the reason why Mars is so strong is that heroes that beat him in lane, like say Dusa, aren't the heroes that are good against him in the mid game. So the heroes that are good against him in the mid game are Lightstealer, maybe you can consider PA because you can get away with Ricky. Dusa is not one of them because you still block her shots. Like any ranged hero struggles against Mars. She's just the best among the ranged heroes because her lane is so good against him that it kind of justifies the fact that your mid game might not be that great. But if Mars sets up Arena and you Stone Gaze, yeah, you at least won't get attacked during that time, but that's Stone Gaze out, right? And that's usually enough. And you can even get speared beforehand. You're not going to die during the spear, but it's a big nuisance. Arena can just block your shots. Medusa likes long fights, and she withstands a lot more, so she's kind of good against Mars in that sense, but it's still not a freebie. Still not a counter. And the Medusa and the Mars Piranha combo actually has kill potential against Dusa in lane, so it's still not ideal, but it's certainly better than what we saw last game.
Second phase of bans now coming on through. Batrider, again the TP pan up from 5-Man Midas, so they're not eager to play into that one again. And Kunkka, so lots of mid-focused bans, while the Cut look more towards the off lane a little bit here. I suspect we might see another off laner ban. Oh, there's a Lion still in the pool.
I mean, Bane's still in the pool.
Bane's still in the pool. Yeah.
I think Bane. Well, your mana, dude. Feed Script gets rid of Dusa. It's Bane.
It's true.
also
5% mana
Mirana.
burn per second.
Yeah, actually, I think that was worthy of a ban, to be honest with you. They even got rid of the Abaddon, so that signifies Bane to me. Bane, please.
It's true.
I would like one Bane with a side of Mars.
There's still, you know, the opportunity for an LC or something like that. And if you don't want if you want to ban the LC, for example, or you don't want to get the Bane hard counter, then you have to pick Bane 8th here, or even last pick the Bane. But I don't think if you pick two cores for the cut, he's making it through.
But LC is not a counter though, because if you're playing LC against Bane, then LC is just a press the attack button. No! No! It's not the Ogre. Okay, so the strength of the Ogre is not I'm going to counter your draft, it's I want to play my own draft, and I'm going to pick a better core that with the steroids might be able to beat you. So a good example, this would be, for example, Luna. She does not beat the Dusa in the matchups because the death ball is great, and with the steroids from Ogre, even if you add an Invoker to the pool, for example, which could be a possibility, then you beat him. Other options actually against Dusa include Wraith King, not that bad in the mid-game matchup with the Ogre steroids. There's options. I'm saying Wraith King is a Scourge, and Scourge loves the Wraith King, we also love the Dusa. But I still think Bane was the better pick, if I'm honest with you. It's just so that the cut rather complete their draft rather than counter the enemies, which is fair enough. It also gives you a better lane, arguably, Ogre, so that's good.
10 seconds remaining.
ET, I think in preparation of potential Luna, by the way, or any sort of Badger
5
carry.
seconds remaining.
Potential TB.
basically any
TB was the best option, actually, now that I think about it for the cut. I'm surprised they didn't get banned.
Yeah, I was going to say TB as well. Looks pretty decent here, especially with an Ogre, especially with the Mars on your team to hold enemies down and just give TB the light of day to hit them.
Radiant teams
Yeah, Reflection as well is going to be super annoying. But Midas, I mean, they've got decent picks against him, right? So this Grimstroke, this ET, Ember now. Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Avo. Go right back to the Bristle.
Yeah, I mean, this time it's a bit weaker, right? Because obviously against the Drow, it's just a matter of getting on top of her. I think against Tusa, this Bristle still brings a lot of sustained damage to the table. And once again, you have the similar problem of, oh look, I reduced their armor, and Bristleback has quills. That's not armor, so who cares?
5 seconds remaining.
A lot of poking prodding, but not enough burst. So if you were planning to use a Silver Edge, which you have nobody to build it, that no way of you taking advantage of it. Once again, not a really good vessel carrier unless Ember Spirit goes for it. So it's once again a good Bristleback game. It does seem like the cut kind of forced and swerved into this because they're more comfortable with this draft, which honestly I'm fine with. I don't think that's bad. I actually would love to see an Invoker here. Oh, never mind, it's banned.
Yep,
So
first
there's
phase
no
banned by the cut.
Yep. So what do we see here against? You're up against an Ember. You get rid of the Kunkka as well.
Storm's still in the pool. Snipe the ET, snipe the Grimstroke. They don't have amazing catch for him. ET, Grimstroke, they're just fine.
I don't know. Yeah, Storm is okay. I think Storm is fine.
Puck along similar lines, but I'd rather go Storm than Puck these days.
I prefer the
Radiant teams
Puck
turn to
here,
pick.
actually.
Monkey King.
Monkey King last pick.
I still like the Storm now. Either works. Either works.
I think they're both fine. I mean, I'm thinking of something a bit better though, because you want like sustained damage against Dusa. So are you just going to have Bristleback as sustained damage, or you snipe the backlines? There.
Yeah. Mars, Spear, Arena, Arrow to hold down the Dusa.
Sure.
Have everyone else do the
5
damage.
seconds remaining.
I think in the same vein, Void Spirit is fine. Actually, you know what? I really like a Magnus made. I don't know that I'm going to pick it, but I would really like to see one. I think it actually would be.
I mean, but then you're really going all for Bristle, right? It's burst damage on Magnus with RP skewer, and then Echo.
Yeah, but when you can skewer a Dusa like out of position or a Monkey out of position, that's enough, right?
But you already have a Mars for that, right? Do you really need to double down?
You have more. Yeah, because you can't spear. Like you can't spear them back that easily. It's not a particularly easy thing to do with like a monkey and stuff like that. I don't think they're gonna pick it though.
Yeah, they go the Storm.
Yeah, it's fine. I do feel like the Monkey can kind of game a freer Storm game. I was expecting an offlaner with a bit more catch. Like Monkey has theoretically a good lane against Spurs, so I don't think it's the easiest lane because it's like melee killer against melee killer, right? Mm-hmm. And you have an Ogre to boot.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a difference. I mean, I see why they picked ET, especially because at the time I think TB was kind of the looming threat. You know, we all saw the shadow. It was everyone had that last episode of Dragon's Blood in their mind, right, with this TB potential. But now the problem is like I think like a last pick or a 9th pick Underlord would have been decent, but not with an ET. You can't run dual melee into Bristle and expect that to work, even if it is an Underlord that's going to do well against him mid and late game. But Yeah, I mean, the monkey just doesn't really give you the catch. Usually he's just kind of played as another core, especially if he wins his lane. The monkeys tend to get a little greedy, you know, they want another banana, and they just, you know, I don't know if they build Midas, but like Echo Saber, BKB, and pretty standard carry monkey from the offlane builds. And I don't know if I'm in love with that this game, to be honest. So I'm eager to see how Little Boy is going to build the hero this time around. But yeah, pretty free Storm game for kits.
Yep. You know, that famous children's book, if you give a monkey a cookie, right?
Yes, very true. If you give a monkey a banana, I believe it should be.
Yeah, if you give a monkey a banana, he will build Radiant. That's actually bad, too.
That
poor guy. In case you guys don't know, it was an Eastern Europe game when Sexy Fellow was on bait in the first season. That he built Monkey King. He was offlane Monkey King. He built Radiant's first item, and we just can't get that out of our head because it was just the dumbest thing I ever watched.
It was not good.
It did not work.
And then he had like 4,000 gold, and we're like, maybe he's gonna buy like a Blink because they need initiation. And then he's like, satanic.
Yeah, it's true. And in case you guys were wondering, it's like, was he up against like an illusion carry? Nope. Did he have other stuff in the team? Nope. He was the only stun.
Yeah. And also, in case you're wondering, it's like, oh, did he have like a very sacrificial position one player? Nope, it was RDO. He was probably playing TB or Dusa, you know?
I think he was playing Dusa, yeah. We just saw it. It was Dusa initiating with Stone Gaze. Guys, please look at me! Look at me! I need a stun! Anyway. I think this draft is better for Midas than last time, I will say. I think it's a considerably better draft. I still would side with cut, but I think it's a much better draft.
Yeah, I think the issue is it's a free Storm game, and, well, it's not that free, but it's like a 75% free Storm game. As long as he does not ball Lightning directly into a Phantom's Embrace, they can't really catch him here. Or unless they all combo off of one Searing Chains, they can't really catch him here. So that's why I say like 75% free Storm game, and that's going to really make it easy here. Oh, go ahead.
What is Little Boy doing? Was he going to snipe the courier? Yes, he was.
Oh, he was trying.
And he's going to get first blooded as a result, right, Pingu? Oh, he's not fast enough. He's
got Ignite in 3 more seconds, though.
Oh, he got a tango. Is that enough?
And Little Boy hits Boundless Strike level 1, so yeah, he is 100% dead. Will Pingu take first blood? Absolutely not. He is a loyal support.
What a play. What a play, Pingu. Oh, wow. He's struggling. He did take the first blood. He got tired of it. My carry's too good. Oh, that's the perfect line as well. I thought that was you.
Oh, that is good. That is rich.
Anyway, so the first one this time goes to the cut. I mean, I like the Pango, you know, sniping supports. In case you guys don't know, the play is that you go, and since when you're a courier, or when you're anything really as Mischief, the towers ignore you, you go inside the base, you snipe the couriers. I wouldn't do this on a 3 Pango, though, as the first play in the game.
Yeah,
but
especially because it's pretty common now. We've already had a couple of instances where there's been 2 couriers sniped by a position 4 Monkey King. He TP's back, and there's really nothing enemies can do about it, you know. And that's pretty big. Like it's definitely worth doing as a support, because worst case scenario, you feed first blood to like a support or the safe laner, which isn't that big of a deal because the mid is never going to be down here. And then best case scenario, you get 2 free courier kills. Maybe you even get 3, and you get your mid a free bottle like super early. Like that's game changing stuff. So you know. High risk, medium reward if it's a support, but as the core, it is a little bit more risky. I think the calculus does change a bit there. We'll see how much it affects his game, however, as he starts getting underway. Down bottom, Storm with as expected, a pretty decent start versus the Ember. Ember still CSing pretty easily because, you know, melee versus ranged. It's pretty good for him, but it'll get a little bit more difficult here now, especially as Storm hits level 3. And Flame Guard is limited by its cooldown. We talk about this matchup a lot, I feel like, Avo.
Yes, because I will always be reminded forever of the we envy matchup in the mid lane, where we swore that the Storm beats Ember and Envy's like, you easily avoid the Remnant with the Sleight of Fist. And he figured out it was not the case, and then proceeded to rage quit a 1v1 mid. Anyway, Pingu dies in the bottom lane. What a great clip. If you guys have not watched that, I really do recommend you check that out. It's actually really informative. And I'm making Envy sound bad, but he's actually just one of those people that wants to find out immediately if this thing's work. So
yeah.
It's really cool that he would go out of a game and immediately go and try this out on stream.
The Envy clip that epitomizes that to me is the clip where he's playing Troll and he gets the 25 talent of Strong Dispel. He's playing versus a Bat Rider and he goes, wait a second, does this work? Can I dispel this? And he quits the game. He launches demo mode and like in the span of 30 seconds in one Twitch clip, he loads in a Bat Rider. He levels himself as the Troll and then he tests the combo, does verify it works and reconnects all in under 30 seconds. One of the most impressive Envy clips I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was before they had it a little bit easier mode in demo mode. This is when you had to like actually type in the console command, you know, spawn enemy hero, Ray is dead. Yeah.
What a player. What storylines he gives. No, I will say that I don't think I can speak well of him in this house because he ruined Sheepo's last game, so.
Oh, did he?
But he brought back and ran down mid twice. So, yeah.
Well, you know,
talking about it.
He's trying to channel the Yator away, you know, and maybe he's trying a lot of different methods, isn't he? I suppose.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, like griefing. I guess he's keeping that method. I thought it was funny because Sheepo came, like, she knocks in my room. Was like, I experienced true NA now. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she explained the story. So. What a story.
Yeah, there's a lot of like EU and SCA refugees now in NA, right? I keep seeing Pomlo, who's position 5, right, for Quincy Crew.
Yes.
He keeps tweeting about all of his pubs, and you know, sometimes I get a little bit nostalgic, right? Because I then start, you know, in between the breaks, you talk about your pub experience, and I go, ah, yes, I remember playing all my NA games like that. Arrow, mid lane for the Battle Runas. There's a lot of contests here currently for Kits. Flame Guard is out, though. Lots of damage here. Echo Stomp will find Kits, and one last Sleight of Fist is going to pick up the kill. Nice start this time around for RRL. That'll give him a pretty decent advantage.
Why wouldn't you feel nostalgic about that? It's like me going and saying, you know, my grandma feels really nostalgic with the Spanish Civil War. It's like, wow, good times.
Well, you know, it wasn't good times, Alvaro, but that's what we had, right? We had to make the best of it.
That's exactly what my grandma says with the Spanish Civil War. She does not feel nostalgic about it whatsoever.
It's the only thing you knew as an NA Dota player.
Oh my god.
We didn't know anything else.
Are you imitating her speeches? Have you talked to my grandma?
It was either that, Alvo. Let me. Ven aquí, Alvarito. It was either.
They used to give us potatoes and we used to enjoy them.
Little boy is going to die down bottom. Maybe not, actually. He's got stick. Does he have Boundless Strike? He does. So the action is then truly mid lane, where there's another rotation for Kits. Level 6 here from RRL after that earlier kill bonus. And a beautiful kill there, as he's not going to die to the tower. This is a big advantage that they're making. But Little boy, dive him.
Never mind.
Dead.
I think.
Get under the tower. It's your 2. Oh,
I think if I've gone under the tier 2 maybe a second earlier, he might have had the chance, right? I don't know.
Yeah, needed that additional regen.
Yeah. But yeah, they did end up killing him. However, this mid lane, which we talked about Storm winning, has been destroyed by RRL, huh? It's like really, really favored for him. Blitz is struggling.
He had that one kill when they contested the water rune that, you know, that one Marana arrow missed. Fireman Midas, I gotta commend him, right? Showing some adjustment mid-series, because the cut, they always rotate the supports over, as we can see now, as they rotate the supports over yet again. There's a ward here to scout the Marana stacks, and while there were rotations previously, now the supports are coming on over, so Fireman Midas properly ready to brawl, as the rune will spawn bottom. Pingu is going to be the one to pick it up, though, as he was going to be in a position a bit earlier than this Grimstroke. Regen, don't think it's going to quite save him, though, as Ember Spirit max to Flame Guard can just kind of walk him down. Arrow, though, is going to find him. It's a long stunned arrow, but not enough for the kill, as the Inkswell did kind of scare them away. 2-man Echo Stomp frees up RRL to go for the dive versus Pingo. He's a little bit low on the mana, however, but Kid's still not level 6, cannot look to punish, because he doesn't have Ball Lightning.
Yeah, that's all because of the kills and because he's been losing his lane. He's not going to get it, though, with the small cap. Oh, no! Giant, don't take an experience! No! He's now one creep away, Giant! That was actually such a big deal.
Yeah, bottom rotation.
Flaming him. Oh, Scourge. Nice, fine. Vanguard now. I don't think he's going to die.
Oh,
in fact, he's going for Bolo. Good stun, though. Little boy comes back in, he's like, deal, let my support live. And then mid lane, we see one more attempt. Klitz finally got his level 6 though, so he's gonna be fine.
But this is still pretty massive, right? Forcing a Ball Lightning defensively like that removes so much of Kits' aggressive potential, especially because we're minutes away, well, minute singular away from the next rune spawn. Let's see, can he farm this? Yeah, right? Yeah, he can farm.
Yeah, he's fine, he's fine. Sorry, I just realized that there was no L there because the teal has a weird effect.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Kits. He is underneath the ward, though, and he's now out of mana. He has no regen, just one stick charge to try and keep him alive. Syrian Chains, though, he's not going anywhere. He's going to turn at least and get the Centaur Conqueror, but that's going to be his third death in the laning stage. RL now 3-0-1, having a much better game than the last, although he didn't play too poorly last game, I should say. It was just a pretty tough Void Spirit game for him. This time around, it's not that bad of an Ember game, right? We said it's a pretty free Storm game, and it's actually not that bad of an Ember game either.
No, it's a really good Ember game, I agree. You don't really have much of a setup for the air. That's why I like the Bane more. I think the Fire Blast, I mean, I just don't see the advantage of the Ogre over the Bane, to be honest with you. But the Ember can really take over this game. Low boy in the bottom lane, there's Vortex. I'm gonna try to kill him, I think he's dead. Even with that stun, they have no more stuns. It doesn't really matter because they have the damage and that's better than the stun.
Yep.
As Pingo's chasing down the Grip Stroke. It's Pingo alone though. And Scourge is coming to help him perhaps? Yes he is. Scourge is here. He wants promo. There's a 5+.
Here's RL. I don't know if they can fight into this. There's going to be the Centaur Conqueror stun that does find the Ember Spirit, but Scourge McDuck continue to try and fight this one. Ray punching him down. Scourge McDuck, he's going to try and also farm neutrals here. He's gotten a courier, he's gotten a kill, and that's all he's going to get as he is going to be given the boot. In comes Giant looking to secure this kill onto the ET. The Dusa, who we forgot was in the, well, I forgot was in this game, is now going to contest her own stacks. She'll show up here for this final kill, but it's going to be RL with a double kill. A lot of the stacks here contested. And 5-Man Midas do manage to somewhat defend their triangle. Comes at a cost, but I would say defend it.
Yeah, he took a fair amount of the stacks there, so it's not bad by the cut to like force it as much as they did. I just don't like it because even though the theory was correct, it seemed very unplanned. You know, it kind of was to Scourge up finding other stacks, and instead of waiting for his teammates to arrive or anything like that, they just go and say, let's go in on Bristol back, right? And now he takes his own stacks, is fine, but that resulted in his death unnecessarily.
This is being scouted, but I just don't think they're in, they being 5-Man Midas are in a position to really contest him. He seems pretty strong. Yeah, chipped vest, Vanguard. I mean, this is even more bonkers than Spectre farming ancient stacks with chipped vest. So RL's going to come on in. Ooh, we might get a couple of the creeps. He got... No, he didn't get any of them. Scourge McDuck is purple compared to the pink, so it was a little bit hard to tell. And he's going to have to get out. Ball Lightning to at least threaten, but Vortex level 1 and Marana a bit too far away was not going to be able to set up for an arrow.
I mean, his Kits is going for the Orchid build here. He's going to have a lot of offensive potential, but I also don't see like really easy targets. He might be a target himself. They're not going to go for lies. This same move they made last time, remember? Except last time was a Drow, so it's much easier. This time against Medusa, it's equally as easy because you have 3 heroes instead of 2. Good adaptation by the cut and the right play. People should start wising up though, because if they do this exact same play twice in a row with like similar lineups, you need to start preparing for it with either wards or a 5 there blocking the potential smoke kick.
And I love that arrow being drawn there. I believe that was the ET drawing that. He goes, guys, you know, just farm here, farm triangle, and then push out bottom. Like, there's no need for you to be there. Little boy, he could have been gone top by now. You know, it's not really his job. He can actually boot the Mars out of lane decently, although this is, again, Mars with an armlet. Once again, though, they are fighting underneath this ward. They made this exact same play last game, and, well, just like last game, it's still going to work out here in favor of the cut as the first arena is going to find DNM a kill. Mid lane, though, RRL manages to put down Scourge McDuck.
Okay. Not great to lose Scourge in that position. In the end, Little Boy has been stopped. I mean, he's not going to have the crazy Monkey King early game. You expect from an offlane Monkey King, but Scourge is also not. So I guess they've sacrificed 1 core for a core, and this will allow them to enable to do so. In addition to RL, who's having a really good game for now. Partially because of his early game lead.
Yep. Yeah, he's doing pretty decent. He's got the Javelin, Orb of Corrosion. This is very much a fighting Ember going into this Maelstrom. Pretty excited to see what he's going to have. Of course, Embers hate building Yule Scepter, which is why Kits is still decidedly just chugging along full speed towards this Orchid. Part of me still needs 1 more Quarterstaff and then the 500 gold recipe, as the smoke will be broken here, interrupted by Pingu, who's just holding in mid lane. There's a Dire Ward currently watching Scourge McDuck farm a little stack. Ray with level 6, the Earth Splitter is maybe ready to try and contest, but it's just the 2 supports here. So the best they can do is just steal a couple of the creeps, which they have now done, as RRL is going to look to set up for this kill. Counter Smoke is coming from the cut, though, so they will Moonlight Shadow. There's the Earth Splitter down, not too much damage, but the 2 times multicast can't even get through here. Ooh, the Flame Guard is RRL deftly avoiding the Spear. And is not going to be able to get this kill onto Scourge McDuck, but does himself avoid a death.
Under attack.
Okay. For now, RL just kind of poking and prodding. Now that we see the Mars actually activating himself in this game, it seems like we're seeing a bit more use by the cut, right? They actually have kill potential and everything. They're taking more advantage of the Storm's early power spike. But it's time for Kids to get his Orchid. Right now, it should be full farming mode. Protect the Storm as much as you can. Get the power spike on the Orchid. And play as defensively as possible for a bit. As you can see, Pickles is going to be blocking here in gank. Or perhaps more than that. They did so fine here in Kids. As before the Orchid is a pretty big deal. Kids can't die. Kids need to get away. Bolt Lightning. And right home he goes. They didn't even need to get our airline ticket. What a great ball lightning, just in time for Kids. Thanks to the arrow as well, they're like giants, so very good arrow. And that will save from potentially losing a bunch of gold that would delay that Orchid. Like I said, they really should not be engaging right now. They really should just be trying to get these last items and playing as defensively as possible while they do.
And the big thing here is that compared to the last little poking and prod engage, hold that thought, little boy is still alive. Arrow's going to miss him, but the spear will not. That's going to be a dead monkey. Stonegate is active here as Lies joining the fight. Just petrifies too, but just doesn't have the damage by himself. Giant going to be silenced by the Phantom Moon versus DNM. Looking to counter initiate, does not have the arena, but does have plenty of damage here. Courtesy of Scourge McDuck, who's now joining this fight out from the triangle. Only has the point booster here, but now Dusa in a lot of trouble as they're just going to spear her underneath the tier 1 tower. Allies now coming in, but just not enough damage here. Oh, that's such a good stop. Can they actually get anything out from this? RL just doesn't have Flame Guard. Maelstrom procs, though, are good enough for another kill as the pig pole is going to be used to try and get Storm out of a bad spot, but RRL is going to be able to burn his bacon, and that's a triple kill for RRL. I don't know if that's worth it, but it was a better turn than I was expecting 5-Man Midas to get, especially if they can get this tower.
No, I think it is worth it because of the tower, right? Like, once again, you're delaying. You just got the Orchid again now. You're still annoying the Storm, but I guess I still think it's worth it to do the tower. But you're right. Now that I see that the Orchid's not even picked up, it's not as big a deal to kill the Storm. Dose is certainly a bit more valuable. She was trying to convert into the Manta, and Scourge also got a fair amount of time here to farm the Ancients right afterward. Scourge closing in on the Ags. I think that the Ags is the moment that you start fighting again. You once again play somewhat defensively, maybe get some pickoffs on supports, you take advantage of the Orchid on Storm, and then you go back again with the Bristleback Axe.
They're doing exactly that. I'm going to smoke underneath their tier 2 tower and just run it down mid. DNM, no Blink Dagger quite yet, 100 gold away, but with this Orchid on Kids, they're confident in making the jump onto the Storm Spirit. Arrow to follow suit after the Spear. Arena of Blood as well. It's going to zone out any sort of counter initiation as the cut will pick up the kill, set up wards, and with this 15-minute wagon, might even look for a push here.
Catching RL so important that it might be a consideration, even though DNM did go for the Armored Blink build, to maybe go for Yul's afterwards. It really isn't that crazy. You have Orchid, but you just need more catch with the Storm. And Yul's... I mean, Giant's going for a Vessel himself, so not a Yul's either. Like, you really are not setting up anything to be able to stop the Storm, the Ember. It's just kind of important to be able to deal with that, especially if ever decides to go for something like a BKB eventually, or in your Yules, which is going for that Orchid will not seem so impactful.
Yeah, and we're just a couple hundred gold away now from Scourge McDuck's Acceptor, as there's going to be the Blink reveal. Doesn't find anyone as he's silenced by the Phantom's Embrace. RL has returned to the fray now with an Inkswell active. That'll send 2 heroes here into the Earth Splitter. Thing of beauty as DNM will die. Lies even is going to be able to pick up both kills. So that's a big bounty here on DNM's 6 times kill streak. It's over 700 gold total between the 2 kills here into the pockets of the Dusa. That's a full Manta. That's huge.
Yeah, that's not good at all. It's looking a bit bad for the cut. Once again, they're forcing fights, I believe, before their item timings, and I think it should be simple pickoffs. Oh, Storm dies here.
He's silenced.
It might get him. He's silenced. Yeah, he's gonna die. Oh, wow. Really bad for them now.
Wards win wars, ladies and gentlemen. That single observer ward placed down, scouts him out dead for 40. This should be his go time as well, because I do believe, yeah, Scourge McDuck has just had his Ag Scepter delivered.
Okay.
This Orchid timing is still super strong, especially versus this Ember Spirit, who is going to be built into Yule's Scepter, Avo, but doesn't have it quite yet. So he's still extremely vulnerable to that silence from the Storm.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's
Lenovo also
top
finishes Echo, I believe.
To catch him again, though. Nice.
No.
Oh, no way. Does he get out of here? Echo stuff? He's so slow. Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give up. Instead, they go for the other title, which is fine. Not the killer you want in any way. Scourge McDuck will survive this. He is in a bit of a pickle, but he's able to get away in time. 5-man Midas doing a pretty good job. And the cut doesn't know what is the play, like what they need to finally catch this Emperor and reliably kill him. They have a lot of sustained damage in these fights, but again, they need like extra catch for the sustained damage to be able to work out for them. And even though they got really good arenas, how long can you keep this up and reliably do this? The Emperor now just going for the BKB. That's his choice. Okay.
It's a fantastic Echo Stomp. I just want to highlight that
It was a really
from
good
ET, literally saving the life of his Ember Spirit. RL just barely getting up to the high ground. That's huge, because once again, as soon as he can get this as soon as he can get this Yule Scepter online, that's going to be his counter to the Orchid. Again, very similar to last game, though. It still doesn't feel like all that great of an item. Yes, it saves you from the Orchid, but it also potentially sets you up for Spear, potentially sets you up for Arrow. At least there's no roots from Brambles coming this time around, so slightly better than last game for sure. But I would still say, even with that Yule Scepter up, the Cut still kind of have the ball in their court here as they look again for other fights. Another Orchid here onto the Ember Spirit as they catch him trying to farm up this item. This time around, they will have the kill as Ray sets up the ulti. Echo Stomp onto only one. Stone Gaze here as Lies looks to repel the invaders. Scourge McDuck, though, he's going to be running straight on in. The arena is perfect. It catches two. Ray bursts it down. Oh, the Wukong's command, though, is not bad. And Giant is going to die here. Lies does not die inside this arena. In fact, DNM now needs to try and get out. The Inkswell stun will prevent him from escaping too easily. And now in trouble, it's going to be the Bristleback. Someone has got an Orchid for him. But is it going to make that big of a difference? Doesn't quite look like it. Little boy with the Orchid is going to fall. Lies took that opportunity to just TP away, and that turned out to be the right one, because killing this Bristleback right now, as I was saying, is a little bit too difficult. They're just way too strong here on the Cut.
That was my bad, by the way. When I call him the Echo, I meant to say, I should have said he disassembled the Echo, because I was seeing the Oblivion Staff to make the Orchid. Right, so he had an Echo Saber which is assembled to make the Orchid now, and then the BKB. That's the Orchid we use in the Bristle. That team fight, it's just one of those awkward moments, it seems, for the Cut, where like they kind of want to go in, they kind of don't, right? Because obviously the Monkey King ultimate is going out, and it became really difficult to fight in that specific area. That's what Respect does. He fights in an area, and he just kind of chases you down until you die. So they held their ground, but also got away. They killed Warrior Boy in the end, but you lost your own offlaner in the process. And it does seem like the Storm game we saw for Kids that was looking pretty good in the beginning is not looking so good anymore. Between the Orchid, the Searing Change, you actually have a fair amount of catch now to be able to stop him. Yeah. It's not that great a Storm game anymore.
And speaking of stopping him, he is going to be stopped from getting these easy pickoffs onto the Ember Spirit, as he's just one camp away here from this Void Stone to completing the Yule Scepter. That will help him immensely, as long as he just doesn't get immediately 100-0, as these Mars arenas, specifically the Spears, I should say, have actually been catching him a fair amount of times, and Yule's is not going to really save you from that, especially as an Ember Spirit. So let's see here how he can make it work, as there's Yule Scepter finished up and delivered. Oh, hello, Courier, give me my item. There it is. RL's now got it ready to go. But still, I would think, Abo, that for now, the Cut still have the advantage until Lies gets this Eye of Scotty online. Then I think this does start to turn ever so slightly here and become a slightly more 5-man Midas favored game. To me, that's the big item here. But
sure,
they're not going to have that item up in time to contest this Roshan, so it looks like first Rosh is going to go easily into the hands of the Cut.
I would agree with that. I guess that just becomes kind of unkillable. I'm wondering if there's any way that you can deal with it. I mean, he's going to Halberd on Scourge, which is a pretty good way to deal with it.
Yeah, and there is a Vessel online for the Mirana, so good percentage-based damage to continue taking it down. But yeah, there's no...
that's enough, right?
No, I mean, we just need the damage from Scourge to start stacking up, right?
Yep.
Maybe this is a good hairball game as well, just to get those stacks a bit higher immediately.
I found the Ember.
You'll
so blind, a bit annoying, and it actually stunned the first one time. There's a Yule Fuse by the need a spear, they got him with the spear. RL will die. However, and when I like Bristle back a bit ruthlessly, Scourge, that gets silenced, receive extra damage from that soul burn. He's gonna be able to get away. God's Rebuke to keep Ray. And, oh, crazy jump gets Ray, but the exchange loses the Aegis. They're gonna reinitiate Scourge, really low on HP, however, Stone gets him forced, then a silence of Storm. And we need Kits to be able to escape this. He's actually going to go for Little Boy. Little Boy's trying for the stun, but he dies with a spear here from DNM. They also hunt down Bolo, and now they let Lies for last. Lies the top opponent, however, are keeping in control. They have enough stuns. God's Rebuke. Giant, he takes the spear. There's the Orchid as well. There's the spear here from DNM. Sorry, not from Giant. And Lies against the tree. Out of mana, out of life. The cut did their job. That was a really well-played team fight. Poke and prod, kill the Ember first, is the only hero that can survive this kind of damage and can punish you for it. And then proceed to finish off everyone but Dusa.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a misread from the cut, unfortunately for them. Like I said, they just cannot take these fights easily, especially once Ember is dead. You cannot take these fights without Scotty on Dusa. She's not tanky enough, she doesn't have that slow, and most importantly, she doesn't have that regen reduction. So killing Bristle is just a Herculean task for them at this stage. It's just not doable. I think you get out of that fight, you bail as soon as Storm kind of feeds away this agent. Well, he doesn't feed it away, right? He gets the kill onto Ray. Especially because ET has been doing so much work in these fights. He only had a 4-man Earth Splitter. Another Echo Stomp here does allow the Ember to even get off the Yules in the first place. But again, I just think they're misreading their strengths in this fight. Dusa is strong, but not versus 5.
Yeah, you're right. I think this was entirely 5 Midas' issue, though. I think maybe they overestimated how much they can force the cut to stay in one area, because this time the cut was just kind of going in and out, right? I really don't think the Ember was a big deal. Maybe they didn't understand the Ember's role was that important, or it doesn't Little Boy to do more. But the lack of catch is actually showing. We're talking about a lack of catch for the Ember, but because DNM has been playing such a spectacular game, honestly, they've managed to stop him every single time. And Fire Midas doesn't have that for the Storm, or for DNM, or for Scourge, and you need all. You need for everyone. You can't stop the Bristle from being so fast.
Yep. And just additionally, I also don't think that the tier 1 mid lane was worth that kind of fight over. I think if they were pushing a tier 2, especially in one of these side lanes, like maybe you take that fight for the tier 2 top, right? Because especially if you just look at the geography of the map, like it's a lot easier to get these contested and closed in fights compared to the mid lane, which is like super open. That's the whole point of mid, right? For you to connect through all these different areas. Like it was just a little bit too difficult for them. So I think that was something as well that they can look to debate a little bit more when they do take what is a lopsided fight, right? Because it's a 6v4. Aegis on Storm Spirit, he's one of the best Aegis carriers in the game, especially this early. Like, they need to take that into consideration when they look for these kind of defenses, especially when they're playing in what is a pretty sensitive time window for them. But they're going to smoke back into their own triangle. It's promising.
We got some Marauders with silence. Here comes the Ember. He managed to kill off Bolo as well. For now, might be support for support it is. It's Giant stands, but once again it's Ember who falls. Aurel in the middle of this fight can't withstand the amount of damage that can bring out. This time Lies, let's get the Stone Gaze going. In the middle of the Monkey King ultimate, this could be enough. As they kill off Kids, the spear to get rid of this annoying screaming Dusa. Scourge will go for Bolo, force the die back. RL will also brought back for extra control. Can they stop Scourge? They cannot, it seems for now. RL charging those Sleight of Fist, but I think Scourge is too far away now.
Yeah. Buy back up from Ember. Maybe worth it, maybe needed, likely not. But it's to send a message here. It is going to put him in a very tricky window where, you know, they're probably not going to fight in the next 3. They might look for one fight in the next 3 minutes, actually. But if I were the cut, I would not. I would wait until this Roche is up, and then you look for this fight. Because all you need is pick off onto Ember. He's dead for a whole 90 seconds, likely, with that dieback penalty. You have Aegis, you have a 6v4 fight, and the game's just looking so good from you from there. So RL's going to have to be super, super careful here, especially for this next Roche fight. But again, this Bristle just such a problem, isn't he? He just seems nigh unkillable here.
Yeah. Again, it's because they can't just keep them in one place so they can actually use their damage, right? Dusa's sustained damage is actually... We were talking about the lack of sustained damage against Dusa, but it's the opposite problem right now, right? Bristle is at his peak and just don't have enough burst for when he's in the one place. Once he builds AC, it'll become even worse as well for him.
It's a good point, actually. I was going to say, Dusa's quickly looking to close that gap down because she's got the broadsword now. Or is this the Claymore? Hold that thought.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Never mind. DNM is a god. I spoke too soon. They even got Little Boy here. DNM is low-key carrying this game.
Yeah. Yeah,
What a game.
He's having a great Mars game.
Also, have you noticed the build by Mars now as well? Having Halberd. A Giant was going for it earlier, but he said DNM went for an earlier Halberd. And that means you'll have 2 Halberds in between.
Yeah, I believe 3, right? Because Scourge McDuck has one?
No, it's going to be Scourge and DNM.
Right. So Giant is not building.
No, Giant decided to forego it for Lotus Orb instead.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I would actually love to see Pingu build a Halberd. I know it's kind of expensive, but you know, you can multicast it.
You can multicast anything you cast on enemies.
Yep. And you didn't force that.
Including Wind Waker.
Oh, that's true.
What else can you cast? Let's see, we're found Nullifier, Dagon's, Gleipnir you can't, of course, because it's an area target, Rods. Oh, you remember Clumsy Net? Oh god, those are the days. You would Clumsy Net the entire enemy team.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That item was too good though. Clumsy Net was so happy.
Oh, that item was so good.
Oh, but you root yourself. I just underestimated how supports don't care.
Yeah, free Rod of Atos, by the way. But it puts you within melee range, so you have to die supports who don't care anyway.
I die anyway. Anyway, yeah, the AC is also big. I think for the person. Did he already? Does he already have it? No, almost though. He's missing the Hyperstone, I think. Oh no, he has. No, he has it.
He has it.
I might have spoke too soon. That's ridiculous. Particularly for Bristle, the biggest synergy for AC. I think it's one of the most synergistic items in the game for a hero, and it's the Midas armor in an area with cool spray is absurd. So good. Even if it's only -5, it's a big deal.
It's up there with, like, you know, Kunkka with Tide Bringers, what I meant to say, right? Probably up there with Dusa, but Dusa, of course, doesn't really build this item. Who else has Cleave that likes to build it? Not really Sven, it's not unheard of, it would be weird, but yeah, no, it's up there, right?
So he also wants the tank, right? So the armor is great for him, the attack speed is great, is what he's lacking. Like, Warpath gives him damage with no attack speed. So it's just like, what else could you ask for from an item? And the item is literally made for Bristle.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Which is weird, because like, how does he fit his quills to the cuirass?
That's
right?
true. Yeah, that's true.
Think
it's a
about
solid steel plate that's forged around him.
Like, it must
I guess
hurt
maybe
him
it
so
just goes on the front, huh?
Well, like he just puts it as a shield, just carries it.
Well, I don't know if the cuirass is... I'm not really like a medieval nerd. I'm a nerd about a lot of things, obviously. This might surprise you, but as a Dota caster, I'm a little bit of a nerd. But not about like the medieval armor stuff, so I couldn't tell you. And I know it's in the D&D, you know, player's manual, but again, I don't, it's not very descriptive. It's just like, you know, disadvantage on stealth checks and costs like 500 gold pieces or something. I don't really know anything else about the Cuirass though. But it looks like it's a whole jacket. It's French, so I don't know. You would know. You speak more French than I do.
Yes. But,
my French stops at breakfast with omelette du fromage.
I will tell you that they never taught me because they when they taught me French, it was to communicate with people not to get spit on. So they taught me medieval nerd stuff, and you know, I wouldn't talk.
What do you mean?
I guess when having a conversation about someone, be like, actually, did you know that halberds were wielded there? But nobody cares. The Kit's already got the Aegis. That's pretty big, actually, because Scourge is not dying, but Kit's will. So now Kit's can go crazy. I think Storm is one of the best Aegis carriers in the game, to be honest with you, especially once he has big AD.
I agree. I always say that as well. I think he is the best Aegis carrier in the game.
Was there a shard of the pit? No, it was the first one.
No, it was shard. Bristle has it now, so he's going to look for that hairball as Dusa is going to be pinned to the arena. She's going to be in trouble. Does petrify the Mars through his BKB. Disarm now number 1. Scourge McDuck still has the second one coming now for the Dusa. She's going to get the next silo. Spider legs down to the low ground. Storm is just dying to these illusions, though. Stick charge is keeping him alive, but he's going to be taken down. And down he goes. That's Aegis life number 1. Thrown away here already. Elias is going to be in trouble. Does not have the buyback if he were to drop here. He's in a lot of trouble as Kids will close the gap with the ball lightning and find the kill. Little boy, although he throws up the Wukong's command, cannot stop the enemies from just running him down. And the Cut will only lose Aegis and the Ogre in exchange for 2 kills.
Wasn't ideal, but you got the Dusa in there, I think it's fine. What are they going to do against you? They literally have no damage against the Bristle. I think he should be immortal here. What can Little Boy heal? Has Orchid. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, but it's like it hurt DNM because he turned his back to it. I mean, I don't got Orchid. No, is he gonna die? Yes, he did. Well played.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh. Brother against brother action, some foul side here, and they took that alright. And that's a not a dieback, but he bought back earlier, as you guys remember.
That's the dieback penalty, yeah, which is important. Extra 25 seconds for him, so dead for 105. That's going to be an entire minute where the Deuce is alive, but the Ember isn't. And as we've seen previously, even without Aegis, I think the cut, when they look to push, they're not going to be harassed by the constant poke and prod of the Ember Spirit. Deuce, as we see, is just not tanky enough. She cannot survive through all of this harass. As she goes for the Shadow Blade now, trying to at least get a little bit more damage, potentially even a break. But very hard game now for 5-man Midas. As we can see, without, I don't think there are any 4-steps on these supports, huh? Glimmer Cape, and there's a 4-step on the ET, but just so hard to really increase the distance to a survivable amount for Dusa when you're playing against a Bristle, when you're playing against a Storm. It just feels about impossible, doesn't it?
Yeah, also, like, I guess Surge is just, like, the best item in the game right now, so it's okay to buy it on a Dusa, but I do gotta question how powerful the break is, because what is the last 4 seconds, 5 seconds?
It's not too long, yeah.
How did they kill a Bristle back at that time, right? Like, how much damage do you possibly do as Dusa? Right, if you're a hero like PA, for example, who's not a Silver Edge builder either, but because of the interaction, and say he doesn't have a shard, right, for whatever reason, I can understand that, or something like a Ricky or whatever, sure, but I don't really see the power in the Dusa too much. For the break, mind you. I guess the item is just good, and that's fine.
5-man Midas, they're again in a bit of a vulnerable position. Buyback's quite limited. Well, now Ember's got his, though.
Oh, nice.
It's just
Fair ball for scouting. Wouldn't never consider that, but yeah, that's a good use of it.
Wow, this has got quite the range.
Yeah, pretty crazy. The Silver Edge is going to be built on Monkey King as well. I think there's a much better builder for it, personally, this game. Because he is not sacrificing, like for Dusa, it's a fair amount of gold that goes towards an item that doesn't really do that much for the hero. But maybe I would have preferred for her to go for like Swift Blink instead.
That's for me.
But like I said, maybe the item is just too good now. It is kind of bonkers, so sure.
Yeah, I mean, at least it gives them a tool to kill Bristle now, whereas before they were like, I don't know, maybe he dives Fountain and faces the wrong way. Now they've got a chance.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
Smoke play,
Dire's
Ember
bottom tower
and
only
ET
takes
leading the charge into their
one
triangle as the Phantom's Embrace is going to be broken by DNM. He's got BKB, Blink, Armlet, and this Halberd to annoy especially the Dusa. DNM continuing to work around as there's the Moonlight Shadow. Scourge McDuck has been scouted in the mid lane, but they've got vision here onto 2, and it's both supports killed. 100 to 0. RL has been scouted as well, but he still has Yule Scepter, and there's going to be immediately no follow-up out from him. Wait a second, Storm? Storm just... No, right? Yeah, okay. He got a remnant. He had a remnant. He had a remnant. Backed by back.
They do. AT bought back already, Scourge. There's not a single vessel carrier, right, in this game?
No, there's the break. And the disarm.
It did nothing. I mean, yeah, the disarm helped, but even without it, like, what are you supposed to do, man? Scourge is just a bit too tanky. The Scotty's doing nothing either. He's got level 25 as well, which means more warpath damage. Supposed to kill your buildings and ignore you. Oh, they tried to do something. They're looking forward to top of that. They did more stunts here. They did use the BKB on the Storm to make sure it doesn't get stopped. It's so much a bit too annoying, though. So he has to retreat here, and instead it's actually Scourge leading this charge unnecessarily and committing suicide. No BKB on him, so he has no way of being able to disengage. And yeah, Scourge forced the envelope a little bit too much there, I'd say.
Yes, he did. He really pushed in quite aggressively there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And it's a good ET ulti yet again. I keep going back to this ET, but I think he's playing an excellent game there. He's both these supports who did have to commit the buybacks, I should mention. Hold that thought. Orchid? No way. Storm, he's just dead. He doesn't have buyback. Oh, he does in 5 gold. Okay, he's got buyback. There it is. He's got buyback. All right, not that big of a deal. Roshan is not in his window yet. He doesn't have to buy back. They can't really look to force anything. Creep wave bottom is going to take at least another 30 seconds to shove in, and by that time, Bristle will be shortly alive. Mid lane might shove as well a little bit. Okay, promising stuff. Signs of life from 5-man Midas. Signs of life.
No, I mean, it's looking pretty good. That was a bit of an overextension, obviously, by Scourge, and that shouldn't have happened. I would say the same thing about the Storm. But Still, these mistakes can really turn a game, and it might happen here. Like, Lies will eventually just outclass the Bristle. Eventually. It just takes a while for this to happen, because Bristle hits his peaks quite nicely. That level 25 gave him a second life here.
It's so funny to see the tower shoot back these, what are these called?
The orbs from Fire
Shields, yeah.
Yeah, it is funny. And see, I thought for a second it was attacking. I was like, I didn't know the tower's attack was so small.
Boop, boop.
It's so cute. Oh, the Bad Monkey, there's the arena on top of that. Little boy, he's gonna die. The Milky Kill's got him. There's one to carry this game. His name is DNM, really. Who needs a Bristle? They're going for Lies. The hairball has been slow. They spear. Does it hit? And will that matter? The soul line. Actually, that will matter a lot. They're not fighting back here, but it will hit the and it's in trouble. They're going for RL. RL trying to bring down the fist. If they can kill him, they got to puke. Scorch busts up, no. He has now the opportunity to fight Lies in a 1v1 as he's always wanted to. He's going to chase after this Dusa. Dusa, low on mana, half HP. They actually forced that Bingo forward, hoping that Bingo can stun him. They need something else. It's DNM once again. The man commits the legend and brings them to the high ground. Kids is here. He tries to TP. The God's Rebuke will ensure the damage is enough to bring down Lies.
Stupendous.
Man, he went full Hispanic there on the Skorjbik pronunciation. I loved it.
It's Hispanic or Scottish? What?
I'm not really sure, actually, to be honest. That's a good point.
Look, if he's one of my brethren, it has to be spoken the right way.
Mac Duck.
Mac Duck. Anyway, it's good to fight against the English as much as he fights against Lies.
Yeah, seriously. Once again, Earth Splitter on the money there. They do get 2 buybacks out, but now it's only Dusa with a buyback available, as of course Ember still needs another minute till he respawns, and naturally it's not his dieback penalty. I think it is a second dieback penalty for him, actually. So Dusa's going to have to throw herself into the meat grinder, well, into the quill grinder that is Scourge McDuck. He's going to look top lane instead. Luckily for 5-Man Midas, this is not going to be Megas. They can't go for Megas. There's still a tier 2 standing down bottom, and the creep wave pushed all the way past the Radiant tier 2. So they just need to delay 30 seconds. Nothing too silly here, lads.
I'm glad. I think we should choose more Scottish language in this broadcast. But you see, where's that break? Like, I feel like that Silver Edge was a dead item on the Dusa. I will constantly point it out. I would have much rather see Silver Edge, a Monkey, and Daedalus on Dusa. I do think you need that extra damage. I think Daedalus is almost a dead item, but in this game it wouldn't matter because the damage really matters on this hero. Look at the items that she has, right? Like Scotty, Dragonlance. Who you're poking, dude. You're Weaver at this point.
I mean, she still has a Crystallis in there, right? Which is not as much as a Daedalus, but I don't know. I think it still might be a little bit valuable, especially because there is a lot of relatively uncontrollable damage, or you can't really control the damage the way it's dealt for 5-Man Midas. You know, like Ember can't really always, you know, hit Bristle in the front. Same thing with the ET, so maybe it's still good for that. Arena, it's huge. It's huge. It catches 4, then nuke through the Grimstroke immediately. Monkey could be next as he gets Abyssal, then killed. Then also interrupt the Echo Stomp from the ET. Gets off the ultimate. It's not bad as Lies with the Stone Gaze trying to hold them all back, but he's fallen incredibly low now. Disarmed once, speared all the way back to the low ground because he had the Spider Legs active. He's just going to try and TP away, and he is not going to make it. That's a full 5-man wipe as the cut will get through this game. Number 2 with a win. DNM, man, what a god on the Mars. Holy moly.
Seriously, what a Mars game for DNM. Like the other day yesterday we were casting was Dog Champ versus Speed's team, Incarnate Boys, right? And we're like, oh, you know, Speed looks like a really good Mars. Loki looked like a Mars. But here DNM blew them both out of the water, honestly. What a performance by him, seriously. We talked about how little cash they had against the Ember and how maybe he had to consider going Yols. Didn't matter whatsoever because DNM's a Chad. He just blinked in and he caught the Ember every single time. Those arenas were brutal. And it spoke truth to what I was saying about the matchup with Dusa versus Mars, right? Where you can argue that perhaps like Dusa's not like really that good against him mid-game, depends on how you play it. Didn't matter here because every single arena was blocking the Dusa from doing something really impactful. It also made the Monkey King look awful because Little Boy not only got countered by the arena because he destroyed trees and it's easy to spear him, but also he just couldn't jump into the fights in the proper position. He never could set up his Wukong's command properly because there was a big, massive Roman building in the way. So
Yeah.
I thought it was impressive.
Those pesky
But, yeah.
Romans, you know, always interrupting the fights, always building their infrastructure, erecting the walls, you know, and making it just a bit impossible for you.
Am I seeing a black screen right now? Or is that just me? It might be mixed. Oh, never mind. There we go. Okay. It's our intern. You know what? Yeah, okay, we have to fire Jeff. It's been like a third time already that he's been doing this. And like this travel agency is not gonna work if Jeff is still part of this. So, fuck you, Jeff. Yeah, seriously. All right. Hey, Scourge. I see. Yeah, we can hear you. Richie, why is he post-bristle blah? Yeah, it's okay. Our production got so excited for your bristleback that, yeah, they just misspelled bristleback's name. So they gave you that hero 2 times. Do you think it should have been banned for you? Do you think it should have been a respect ban? Because the first game especially looked very free bristleback game for you. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Would you say the same thing about the Mars? Do you think that they should leave the Mars for you guys every single time? How was your prep for this match, Scourge? What did you guys do preparing for 5 and Midas? What is your usual prep during the week, actually? Okay. That's a good mentality. I see you still keep the starter from the bottom mentality, right? You're just rising constantly, huh? So, to ask you, Scourge, I don't know if that's just our camera, but are you in pitch black darkness? Is this how you play? Is this your maximum level? Do your eyes not hurt, dude, when you play? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I want to ask you, completely unrelated to Dota. What do you do when you're not playing Dota or watching Dota? Do you have any hobbies that you do? Nice. Oh, wow. Okay. Why should I buy your supporter pack, by the way, Scourgy? This is a moment to chill out. Oh, what is so great about the cut supporter pack? Yeah. You. I agree. You had the best loading screen of anything. I actually still use it. It was amazing. Well, thank you very much for your time, Scourge. It's been a pleasure having you here, dude, and good luck in your next match. Hi. Now I know that he's from Pittsburgh, so now I have a background. Now I know where to visit next for our agency, because I need to be looking at the places where these players are born, right? To figure out where to send them to when they go back home. I mean, when when people ask of nice places to visit in the U.S., Pittsburgh. I've heard that city is well known for its beautiful vistas. No, I just heard Pittsburgh is like, you know, this is you want to go to you see the factories. It's like, it's beautiful. You're the American. I don't know. No, I think it's okay. It's alright. Don't worry about it. I thought it was funny. I like the interview. You gotta loosen up in the interviews though, dude. You gotta ask them too many of the standard questions, and they don't like that. Well, I know. It's okay. Like if you're doing that, just let me talk. It's fine. Like I'll take over. But like don't the questions of like what are you expecting for next opponent and stuff like that. It's like usually asking them things outside the game is actually more fun because the body bouncing was an interesting thing. The screen was actually my favorite fucking line of that thing. So. No. Nope. Yep. Take care, mate. Good night.